Hello everyone, I'm Andrew Aguiar from Gyeongsang National University. I'm here today to tell you about how we can use internet memes in the EFL classroom. Now, the first thing we need to talk about is the definition for internet memes. And let's start with the definition of a meme, which is actually from 1976 in a book called The Selfish Gene, made by Dawkins. And he says that a meme is a noun that conveys the idea of a unit of cultural transmission or a unit of imitation. So transmission and imitation are going to be some consistent words through here. According to a dictionary online, a meme, maybe this is the most convenient, the most well-known version of a meme, would be an amusing or interesting item, such as a caption, photo, or video, or genre of item that is spread widely online, especially through social media. So I'm sure anyone who uses Facebook or Twitter has seen their fair share of memes, and those who live on Reddit, oh, they don't even need me to tell them what a definition of a meme is. Anyways, a more detailed definition of a meme, and the one that I'm going to focus mostly on, is by Schiffman in 2014. In his book Memes and Digital Culture, says that they are the propagation of content items such as jokes, rumors, videos, or websites from one person to another via the internet. And these internet memes can spread in their original form or through derivatives created by other users. That pretty much sums up what a meme is. And now let's just quickly go into the difference between meme and internet meme. So memes, according to Dawkins, can be things from that count as folklore, from songs, jokes, gossip, speeches, and anything like that. Also, these kinds of drawings here. Some of you are familiar with Kilroy is here. That would count as a meme. Now then, internet memes. So if memes are folklore, then we can consider internet memes as post-modern folklore, in which shared norms and values are constructed through cultural artifacts such as photoshopped images and urban legends. And don't worry, I'll show you some examples of some of these. But in your social media, there's a good chance you've seen many cat photos with words photoshopped over top. Those would be memes. Anyways, some other characteristics that are very important to know about memes before we get into talking about how we can use them are that they are rooted in a cultural context or within a subculture. So without culture, memes would not exist, is what I'm saying here. They're widely understood due to their simplicity, especially ones that are based on image. Like sometimes the images are simple enough that if you look at the image, you can unpack the meaning of the meme. Furthermore, they have an easy to follow structure, so it's easy to replicate by other users. And in fact, there's websites completely devoted to the replication of the meme structures. And that's something that I'm going to show you and how we can take that to our advantage in the classroom. And then another thing with memes is there's lots of juxtaposition and humor within an image. So with the juxtaposition, for example, there can be some kind of very serious background and then there's somebody smiling in the foreground of the photo. Or sometimes it's some kind of video and somehow someone put some music over it that perfectly fits the video and adds a humorous bit to it. A good example that's recent is the coffin dance meme. You can search it up yourself. But yes, the coffin dance meme shows some juxtaposition. And then humor, I'm sure if you've seen memes on your social media, some of them might make you laugh. They can be funny. All right. Now, through my looking for literature on internet memes and EFL, there's surprisingly little. But what I found is that increased motivation compared to normal classroom activities when you're using memes in the classroom, go figure. They're fun little pictures. They're probably going to motivate your students. And then actually Romero and Bob Kinna, they actually did some really cool stuff with the memes. They made a visual literacy project and they asked a ton of questions. And it's their focus was on English language teaching. And yeah, if you want to read a lot more about visual literacies, then definitely check out this article. It's really great. All right. Whoa, there we go. So let's move on to here then. So approaches to using memes in the EFL classroom. So these ideas that I'm going to tell you about are one based off of the literature that we just went through and the characteristics that people have found about memes. And then also some inspiration from when I was doing my master's course. And yeah, I'll explain more about that as we get to it. And here is a very fitting meme for this. This came from a website called Know Your Meme. And we'll talk more about that very soon. All right, first let's talk about why we should bring memes into the EFL classroom. So my number one reason is that this is something that your students will likely encounter in their daily online lives. Thus, they're very relevant to the students. And we can use memes in a lot of different ways. To take advantage of the relevance, we can focus on literacies or language through them. And I'll get into that soon. They're also very easy to make, as was pointed out in the literature. And they can be fun. So if you need a fun little activity, maybe using memes is something that you can do to just spice things up a bit. All right, so in order to get memes into the classroom, you need to have some resources. So I'm going to tell you about two resources that I think are especially useful. Of course, there are other ones out there, but these two, if you have them, you'll probably be able to do a lot of stuff with memes. So the first one is Know Your Meme. This is their URL, sorry, knowyourmeme.com. This is an online database with information about memes in all their forms, things from virals, image macros, and everything else in between. So this website has basic information about each meme, tells about the origins of the meme, talks about the spread and the usage of the meme. So if you need to know how to use a meme, it'll help you out. It shows some variations or mimicries of the meme. And it also shows you the popularity according to Google Trends, how often a meme was searched according to date. And there's also some references to external sites about that meme. Now, a warning with this site is it includes all memes, and this is kind of user-generated database. So as there are memes from all reaches of our world. Not all the memes are going to be safe for work, and some of the memes could be incredibly offensive or contain very offensive content. So that's my warning to you. So if you're planning to use memes in K to 12 classrooms, you might not want to send the students to this site. So the other resource I want to tell you guys about is Imgflip. This is a website devoted to memes, and it has this really handy meme generator. So you can make image macro memes using this website. Image macro meme being an image with text, basically. It has thousands of templates for creating variants of popular internet memes, and it's really easy to use. In fact, inside this presentation, some examples coming up were made using this meme generator, and it took me maybe like 30 seconds to do. All you have to do is fill in the text boxes on the template and press done, and you have a meme. It also provides examples of popular internet memes made by users. There's a featured list on especially popular memes, and otherwise it just shows the most recently made memes, which a lot of them are about the current events that are happening around the world. So it gives you some context to look at them through. This website has a not safe for work filter, but there are still sensitive topics that might not be appropriate for young learners or are still offensive even with a not safe for work filter, as it will show you everyone's most recent creations. And of course, those have some political opinions in them, which, yes, are not always appropriate. Anyways, let's take a quick look at this website just to show you how easy it is. So this is a popular, it's not popular anymore. It's kind of old now, but this meme is the most interesting man in the world meme. Perhaps you recognize this guy and this image. But basically, we're gonna make a meme here. You can see another list of popular memes here, and here's the one we're looking at here. And there's all these other ones, and this little side scrolling bar goes on basically forever. Or if you're looking for a specific meme and you know what it's called, just search here. Um, you just type SpongeBob in here, you'll get a million different SpongeBob memes to work with. You can also add extra things to the images, like some little sunglasses and things like that. Or you could replace this image with another image. You can draw on the image, all sorts of stuff to it. But yeah. So the way this particular meme works is there's some text up here and then some text on the bottom, and it follows some very formulaic language. So let's go to the next slide and put the top text in. So here's the start to the formula. I don't always teach classes online. And then something goes down here after. But yeah, once you're done your meme, you press generate meme, and then you get a URL, you get your link to it, and you just go with that and paste it everywhere that you want. Or if you make an account, like it says here in the pro tip, you can just save all your memes to your account and they'll just be in here. Anyways, we're going to add some suspense and not finish this meme yet, and instead go on to the next section, which is my first approach that I want to talk about. And this is taking advantage of the formulaic language that takes place in some kinds of memes. So using templates to model language, as we mentioned before, memes have a simple structure that can be easily replicated. And though they weren't necessarily talking about language, Wiggins and Bowers said that memes contain rigid language patterns sometimes. Like sometimes the pattern is just some kind of concept, and other times it's just straight up the language in the meme makes the meme. And that's the case with the most interesting man in the world. They always have, I don't always something, but when I do something. And here's my example completed now. I don't always teach online classes, but when I do, I don't wear pants. It's a very interesting fact. That may or may not be true. So, upon seeing that literature about memes having rigid structures, it got me thinking we could use these image macro memes that have rigid language patterns. We can use them to model language. Like some of them cover some basic kinds of language patterns that we teach every day in our classes. Like we should do something and do something. Um, the interesting thing is there's always a little twist to them, so it could be fun. Like we should take all of these assignments and put them in my dog's mouth. So it's a way of talking about suggestions with a little bit of fun. Also, you can see there's lots of body language in memes, which kind of help give you an idea of what's going on. I think people like this one because Patrick Starr is moving something from here and pushing it away. But yeah, this one has a rigid language structure. This one's always repeating something twice and then everywhere. Assignments, assignments everywhere. Maybe that's some people's online classes. And then another, all my memes are a little old, but they kind of match my age group. Hence that cultural background part. One does not simply teach classes in 2020. This one always uses one does not simply and then something. It's taking the Lord of the Rings quote there and morphing it around. You can see all these images came from Imgflip. I made all of these. All right, so let's go into a detailed example using the most interesting man in the world meme. So you could model this. I don't usually X, but when I do, Y. So teachers can make the most interesting man in the world memes, the model for the class, and then talk about the structure a bit, and then give the students a chance to try it out with a template. A couple things about this. Instructors need either a decent knowledge of internet memes or spend some time searching the internet for memes that follow a rigid language pattern. Like, there's so many memes out there, and only so many of them have rigid language patterns, and then rigid language patterns that we can take advantage of. I suggest scrolling through the Imgflip popular memes template bar there. That's how I came across the ones that I used on the previous slide. Because yeah, when I was thinking about it, I'm like, I can't think which ones could we use. And of course, there's plenty more. Just take a look. Even now, you can go check it out. Try to make a meme yourself, even, and see if you can do it. Think about how you can use them to model language. And another thing I should mention is if you want to do this with some younger learners and you don't want to send them to Imgflip, then you can take those meme templates and print them out, and then you can make them write on them. Or if you want to keep the digital interface, you can take the images and put them into a safe document and then let them caption the images that way. That way you don't need to worry about having them out on the wild internet. You can get those learners into a safe learning environment by taking the meme off of the internet. So another approach would be to use those templates from Imgflip to make critiques. Honestly, this is one of the most common ways that memes are used online. It's for critique and humor, and sometimes at the same time, right? Now, this is kind of inspired by some work by Craig and Porter, who had students draw pictures and kind of basically graffiti a newspaper on their feelings and opinions based on the articles and pictures within the newspaper. And the first thing I thought of when I saw that was, oh, you could do that with memes. And same political cartoons and things like that. In a way, memes can function the same way as a political cartoon. In fact, most events that are happening around the world coincide with the memes being created about them. Like they're always, if something's going on in the world, there's going to be memes made about that something going on based on people's opinions of it. So yeah, they function basically the same as political cartoons sometimes. So you could bring that into the classroom and have students share their feelings or opinions about situations and create memes via meme generator. I suspect that you don't need to train most students to do this. They're very likely quite familiar with this function of memes for the reasons I already stated. In fact, I was doing a project recently in one of my courses, and they didn't need to put a bunch of memes in, but they were able to capture some of their feelings through memes and make small critiques about what they were doing through the insertion of memes into their video projects that I had them doing. And that was without any prompting from me. So I suspect this will be an easy activity for any students. But it could make them go about using English. So that's a plus. So an example topic, you could have students in an online classroom setting could be given articles to read about COVID-19, and then they could respond through sharing memes they create using templates on Imgflip. So it gives them a chance to kind of share their opinion through a multimedia outlet in the form of an internet meme. So it's especially good in online environments because then they can just share the memes. For example, if you have an LMS, a learner management system, you can just have a section in there devoted to the topic, and then they post their memes, and they can check each other's memes out and comment about the memes. I I'm quite certain that if the students are making some memes, they're going to want to see the memes that other students made as well. And then depending on the level of humor in the memes, they could end up having some conversations about them too. So yeah, some of the worth checking out. But yeah, this is maybe the easiest activity to do from all the activities I'm going to talk about here. All right. So now we're getting into the other part to memes, which is visual literacy and critical thinking. As the previous activity was designed to critique through memes, this next activity is to critique memes themselves. Now, with all the fun there is with memes, they do also carry political meanings and societal bias and are loaded with hegemony. So we need to also remember to teach our students how to look for those, especially given how quickly memes are spread across the internet. So we must make sure that learners are equipped with the skills necessary to look past the fun and games part of the meme to what's hiding behind it. So one approach to doing this is through asking some questions of the memes. So I just have this simple 5-question structure here. So what message does the meme convey? And that's kind of tied to the second one, who or what is the meme about? So this is trying to get at, well, one, what is the creator of the meme making an opinion about? And then why are they making that opinion about it? And then certain memes, by following a structure, you will notice that the way that it's structured has an extra meaning conveyance that your students might be able to tell you about. Next thing is, who is the meme's target audience? So as I mentioned, memes are embedded in the cultures and subcultures. And if some memes have more reach than others, but some have very specific audiences. And you need to consider, or your students need to consider, who is this targeting? And what is it saying about that audience? Or what is it saying to that audience? Another question which might really make your students open their eyes a bit is, are there people who might be upset by the meme that they're analyzing? It's very easy just to laugh at the meme, but memes are often kind of poking at something in some kind of critical way. And they do have politics involved. So pointing out this question to the students will really make them think about those kinds of things. Who is the meme's humor at the expense of? And then this last one, what world is the meme portraying? Now there's the literal world, like SpongeBob memes are showing the SpongeBob world. But then there's the reality that is portrayed in the meme. Like, what version of the world is the person who created of the meme coming from, so that they made the critique that they did within the meme? So you guys should try this kind of activity. Just find a meme that you know, ask yourself these questions, and see what you can come up with. All right, the final approach that I want to talk about in here is research-based approaches and translingual projects. So rather than providing the students with memes, the students can find memes that appeal to them through their own research. Of course, this one is maybe better for adult learners because it will involve them going to knowyourmeme.com. So the first project is pretty straightforward. The students can go to that site. They can find a meme that they find interesting and then use the information from the website to make a small presentation for their classmates that explain the origin, the meaning, and how to use the meme. Then they should show some examples of the meme in action by making some variants of it on a meme generator. And then the students in the class get a chance to use the information that their classmate just presented to them to make their own memes using that template. So the idea behind this is the students are bringing in their own memes that they find interesting. It gives ownership over the learning, and it gives them some autonomy, giving them the valuable skills necessary for encountering memes online. Because you're not always going to know every meme you see. And this kind of site is very useful for times like that. Another project, getting more towards the translingual side of things, is for students to do research about a Korean or whatever other L1 they may have meme and explain about it to the class in English. So just like the first project idea, the students need to talk about the origin, the meaning, how to use it, and some examples. So the aim of this is to link L1 and L2 through a multilingual research project where half is done in L1 and half is done in L2. And this is from Selleck and Seltzer in their research on these kinds of translingual projects. And the final one here, getting a little more experimental, is students find Korean memes and English memes that have some similar functions to each other and compare memes that have similar meanings may reveal cultural aspect of the memes. And then as a final step, the students can experiment by switching the languages of the memes. So for example, they could apply Korean language to an English image macro meme and see if it still resonates with them. Maybe they find it better in L1, or maybe it will be awkward for them if the English one is in Korean or vice versa. It could be a really interesting thing to try out with your students. And it will show which memes have more of a universal reach and which ones are more culturally embedded. So that could be a really neat look into culture through memes. And one other thing about all these research projects is since the students are gathering a bunch of memes, you can go back through all the other approaches that I talked about, from literacies to critiques to structures, and take the memes they took and apply new approaches to those memes. So in a way, they're gathering your own resources by doing these research projects. And it gives a little bit extra guidance after the fact too. So always try to find as many ways to use the same material, as many different ways as you can, right? So I want to wrap this up here by just telling you guys that the point of all this was to kind of give you some inspiration and confidence to try new kinds of media out in the classroom. I mean, it's quite easy to just see some new thing and go, this, how can we use this? And then not use it. Or maybe you don't feel that you're comfortable using these kinds of internet artifacts in the classroom. But if you try out some of the things that I suggested, or hopefully by listening to me talk about these things, you guys will have some ideas as well of the kinds of things that you can do with the memes, something completely different than what I suggested. If you did have some kind of inspiration, then please let me know. Because the more kinds of activities and approaches we can think of for using memes, then the better we can utilize this. I'm hoping that people who are already quite familiar with memes can have a new perspective on how they can be used in the classroom. As people who are familiar with memes surely know about how to critique with memes and things like that. But maybe using memes as a structure activity might be new, or taking the critical side might be something that hasn't been done with you yet or something. Hopefully. And then the other part is consider trying different approaches and how to use digital artifacts. If not memes, then something else on the internet. It's important to try them out. Like, see how you can use them. Is there a way that you can use them to cover specific language or critical language teaching, research, something else? Just every time you see something, just try to see, is there any way you can use it? Because that's basically what happened with my presentation here. Beyond that, that's all that I have to say about this. I really hope that you got something from this, get some ideas flowing through your head, and start building some lesson plans that integrate some new memes into it or something. So that's all I have to say. This was Andrew from Youngsang National University, and I hope you all have a great day.